All right. Let's turn this. Let's get going. Okay, so we are at the GDC showroom floor right now. So I hope that everybody can filter in and take a look at what we're doing here. Let's see if I can pull up the chat here. Let's do all messages visible. That way we can see everything that's going on. But let's go ahead and just take a quick look around. I am in the gaming section here, where they're showing a lot of old games. Whoa, I said new games. This is the old games section. Of course, I would start at the old games section. But there's a lot of people here playing on real hardware here, real consoles, on CRTs. It is a sight to behold. There's something to be said about being on a original hardware. You got some consoles from all generations. You've got some here from the original Xbox playing Halo. I saw some people playing a deathmatch, or I forget what they called it in their game. And then, yeah, one of my favorite games right here, the Turtles in Time. We'll have to play that on our stream someday eventually. But yeah, what do we have over here? PlayStation? Crash Bandicoot? Ooh-wee. And there's a couple Sega Genesis over here. We've got Toe Jam and Earl right here, which is very lonely. It's hard to, people don't know how to play it. And the one, the only, the classic Sonic the Hedgehog. Whoa, okay. So yeah, very interesting I saw over here was Super Mario Brothers here.
Being played very badly.
Yeah.
Oh no!
On a top loader NES, which is the kind that you want to get if you're looking for one still. And we've got even older consoles over here, or computers. Commodore 64. But it's cool seeing these like on.
Those things have slime in them.
It's cool seeing these on the original hardware played on real displays.
So I made this cartridge here.
Uh-huh.
And it's like warp mode for your physical Commodore.
Do you mind? I'm streaming live if you want to say something about it here.
Say hi. You want me to say hi?
Yeah, go ahead, say hi. So.
Hi, my name is Amy, and so I invented the backbend cartridge. It's designed to basically play all the original games on the Commodore without the annoyances.
And what are the annoyances of the Commodore 64 for somebody who may not be from the 80s here?
So waiting for programs to load, swapping disks, bad sectors.
Things that happen for a 30-year-old system.
Versions of a game that were meant for the European system that has a different refresh rate. So there's weird artifacts in the game and you don't know why.
Uh-huh.
So I also want to kind of create a system that helps document what the archives are, that you download from the internet.
Yeah.
The idea is to really preserve the original versions of games, but also make them playable and usable without annoyances.
That's awesome, and there's just a little cartridge back here that just plugs into the back.
I actually have a prettier one.
Okay.
See, I'm actively developing the software. That's the other great thing about this device, is that I'm going to keep upgrading it for the next year or so until it really just does everything I want it to do. So I'm going to have a nice enamel logo at some point.
But I'm guessing that's the website right there, backbit.io.
That's the website. So you can pre-order right now. I'll be shipping them out 1st of May.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so there you go. See,
and so if whether you buy a cartridge today or 6 months from now, it'll support all the features that I add to it.
Nice.
At least for the next year. That's what I'm guaranteeing.
All right. So C64 fans out there, you have been warned. Thank you very much.
Great.
See ya. And finally on our tour down memory lane, anybody remember this? I don't. But this is Pong from 1972 playing on a television that feels like that. What's up, Plakite Wolf? We're just looking at some old systems here as we walk through the GDC hall of the video game museum right here. There you go. So let's see if we can back up. We can see this. But yeah, the cool things here are going all the way from Pong all the way to, I saw somebody there with Overcooked on a system. So they've got a pretty good sampling of, video gaming throughout the whole years. Oh, I do have to go over here and take a look at this. There's one thing here that is super awesome that they have here. If I see Simon Careless, tell him he said hi. All right, I will be badge hunting here. But they've got a steel battalion box here where somebody inside is playing and somebody on the outside here is giving them directions, which is pretty cool. And this was a game that was on the original Xbox that had this huge controller that came with it.
There is no aim assist, so you gotta be right on target.
So, I know I don't have too much time here. I've got to run through. There's no way I could get through this in 30 minutes, but I'm going to try to run through some things here as quickly as possible. So that is where we came from. Let's walk over to the other side to see what the current state of the art is right now. So I'm going to turn around camera just to get an idea of what it's like just to be here. The booths here get bigger and bigger as you get over this direction. We're going to be approaching the Google booth here, and the big announcement this year for Google has been Stadia, a streaming service that will allow you to play games off anything Google. So like the Chromebook, they have not announced any dedicated streaming hardware, but I'm guessing that the Chromecast will eventually support it. They are showing off a controller which directly connects to the game over Wi-Fi. They don't want you to even pass it through your system because of the latency that it could potentially introduce. So let's go ahead and... This place is huge. Let's go ahead and get over there. We can actually do a demo of Stadia, and I can tell you my thoughts of it. I've already played it, but there's a big Google logo there made out of objects. But let's go ahead and do a demo of Stadia. Hey, I'm live streaming. Would it be okay if you held it and then I could hold my camera and then I could do a quick demo of this?
Yeah.
Can you give me like a 15-second pitch of what Stadia is?
So you need to talk to the guys in the orange t-shirt. They can help you out
that's
better.
fine. Okay, that's fine. If there's an open station here, then I can just jump in and play. But it seems like it's very popular today.
It is popular, yeah.
Wait, I see one over there. How about that one? I'll suck it up. I'll wear the pink headphones.
Well, it's not bad. Pink is a good color.
Pink is a good color, so you can just go ahead and hold
cool.
this. All right, so this is Google Stadia.
I was just gonna go.
The picture quality is quite good. I mean, obviously, we're looking at the big screen really close up. You can see some compression effects, but it's not something that I think most people don't know. The other thing too is this is 30 hertz. Okay, but it feels really tight. It doesn't feel like I'm playing over a live connection. It feels mostly like an HD TV with like a lot of image processing. And so, this is actually a really difficult scene to compress if you're know anything about video compression. And I'm really surprised at how well the quality is coming out of a scene like this. Like, this is going to be like one of the hardest stress tests for them to do. And the fact that it's free, on a Chromebook, as good as it is, I think people are going to find a ton of value in it. And yeah, I mean, it's playing a video game with maybe like a frame or two.
Someone says that you need a microphone because it's really hard to hear it.
It's pretty awesome. I'm playing. I can reiterate. So anyway, thank you very much for holding the camera for me.
No problem.
So yeah, that's Google Stadia here, and I'll reiterate my opinions as I run over maybe to someone else's video feed. But yeah, just really quickly, just to reiterate again, these scenes are really hard to compress because of all the noise and visual things moving around in the scene, right? Because it's compressing it like a video stream, like you're watching on YouTube, shooting it over to your computer, but it's doing it with a delay of milliseconds. And when you're playing it, it's a 30 frame per second game, meaning that you have about 33 milliseconds before you know, you would see an input on your controller to when it would update on the screen in a perfect world. But the reality is that our displays and our technology are not that tight. So when I played it, it felt like I was playing on an HD TV that had some heavy processing on it. Like maybe game mode wasn't on, but it's totally playable. And I have played on TVs that are worse that have consoles directly connected to it. And it's playing, you know, off laptops, off Chromebooks. So it just uses video decoding hardware, and then it just uses your internet. Now you'll notice that these devices are wired up. And I've done streaming like this before. You can actually test out something similar like this called Parsec Gaming. Just invite a friend over the internet and say, connect to me, and you can experience what, you know, a little bit of delay in a game feels like. It's definitely something you'll notice at first if you're really like hardcore into tight timings on video games. But at the same token, you just kind of get used to it and you play with it. And I feel like a lot of consumers are going to get a lot of value out of this. I mean, they showed a demo of like someone's watching the video of it on YouTube, they click play, and then they're playing it. Biotic, you said you tried playing a game on your TV several weeks ago and the frame rate was awful. It is going to be dependent on your internet connection, but internet is getting faster and faster every year, and if there was a time to launch this and get this out, I honestly think that now's the time. So that's a quick little sneak peek at Google Stadia. I'm impressed with what they're doing. As a streamer, I would personally love to be able to stream on YouTube and then just be like, hey, who wants to join in? And then there's like 4 join buttons that they click, and then I'm just playing with you guys. I think that's the future of streaming. Twitch is showing off what they think their future of streaming is, which is like, I'm going to type things in the text chat. So that seems like that's now, and that seems like that's, well, Twitch feels like it's kind of like that was last couple years ago, and now like being able to play with each other, it seems like now. I mean, we do it right now with Parsec Gaming. You can download a client called Parsec, and you can start to see what internet streaming is like, low latency between like one computer and another, just on your home network. Or even when we play with Sophie, we play with it across, you know, multiple states, and she's like, this is pretty damn good. And she's a hardcore gamer, so I mean, I'm playing that, I'm like, man, if I was stuck in my hotel and I got an experience like that off my phone or tablet, that's a lot of value. Because picking up your PlayStation or your PC that can play a game like that ain't easy. So let's go ahead and turn around. We've got the Epic booth here, which is a madhouse. They've got tons of games here that have been made with the Unreal Engine. We've made a game that's been made in the Unreal Engine. And if we walk over here, they are handing out free t-shirts to participants, free beer at 10 in the morning. Oh God, I don't think I could last that long. And this is and free popcorn too. I can go in there and get a free cookie, or we can keep going around booths, because behind me is Microsoft. Behind that is PlayStation. Is that allowed in the UK? I don't know. They do check your ID, so that is worth taking a look at. I will show you a really cool demo that I was super impressed with. So this is Unreal Engine right here. They're talking about how to do cool game dev stuff. If you guys want to see more game dev stuff, let me know. We've got a game dev part in our channel, so. But I'm gonna go over here to this real-time ray tracing demo, which I looked at and I was like, oh my God, this is the most impressive thing I've seen. So I'm pretty sure you've seen this video before, but selling of alcohol, well, you know, United States is pretty fun. So here's something that basically looks like a pre-rendered game trailer running in real time on an RTX 2080. And the way the lighting works and everything, it's amazing. What a world we live in. I'm not gonna sit here and point camera at a screen. You can actually watch this video from Epic, but it's very impressive what they were able to do with it. And future is Unreal Engine. I know Unity's right over here. They've got some pretty cool looking stuff, but let's run over to NVIDIA's booth, just because they show off the state of the art and what you can do with computer graphics, real-time computer graphics. And it's really funny, like the stuff that you used to see 10 years ago and you're like, oh man, that's a cutscene. They're doing that stuff in real time now. And in a lot of ways it's better because we've gotten better tools in terms of making, you wonder where the restrooms are. They are all over the place. They are, boom, right there. So let's go over here to NVIDIA's booth. They've got ray tracing for Metro happening right over here. They've also got some consumer demos here of a one done in Unity that's a car customizer, and it looks photorealistic. Let's see if we can get them to bump the mouse here. Maybe I'll just do it. Could you? I'm streaming this right. Could you just interact with this so our users at home can see this? So hell yeah. And this looks really, really damn good. It's incredible how photorealistic this looks.
You can toggle some of the effects on and off. You can do, take shadows out, bring them back.
Yeah.
Do other stuff. You can go look at various angles. Straight line, round. You can do, and then you can go inside. There's multiple uses that you can do. Just looking at the material quality, looking at the reflection stuff. Reflections here on the kind of more polished objects.
And this is really awesome. Is this a demo that's downloadable, or is this private only still?
I'm not sure if this demo's been released right now. I have to check. I'm sorry.
Okay. That'll be really awesome just for users who get an RTX card to be like, okay, what can we do, and see some cool demos like that. And RTX runs on 10 series now, but just really slowly.
It does. I mean, yeah, it's available. Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. They enabled through some drivers for you to preview what the future looks like, and then you'll be like, man, this is so slow. I need to buy a new video card.
And so this will be available in Unity in public release very soon.
Awesome. And then
You can try it out.
and then I also see right here next to you, you've got some game streaming going on.
Yep.
Not to be outdone by any other people we won't
Absolutely.
name.
Rachel.
Hi.
Could you hold the camera while I
Of course
just
I can.
because we're live streaming right now?
Yes, please.
So this is I guess this is like constantly controls and how to do it. Help me, I don't know how to play this.
No problem. Here, do you want to play PUBG?
Actually, you know what? That's a pretty good indication of an FPS because people are always asking, can you play a hardcore FPS on a video streaming system? So this is streaming right over a network. This is
Correct.
a Chromebook. There's no way PUBG is running on this. There's no way PUBG is running on like some mid-end systems.
Yeah.
Apparently. So.
And this is actually an HP. It's not a Chromebook.
Oh, this is okay. Wow, this feels really good. Like there's a little bit of lag, maybe like a trailer. This is crazy. I can't believe like how reactive this is. This is my first time playing PUBG, so don't laugh at me. But like the mouse movement, you would be able to tell, and I like it. And honestly, this demo's more impressive than what they're showing at Google booth. They're playing a 30 frame per second game, and they're playing it over a controller, and that masks a lot of that latency. When you got the mouse in front of you, like that is, that's something you're gonna notice. So is this running off a server, like here locally?
No.
Or is it running off, where's the server located?
San Jose.
All right, so it's still in the same city.
Correct.
But it is
Ish.
happening over the internet. It is
Yes,
happening over
yes.
And it's happening over
You're playing live.
over the internet in here.
Yes.
Which is like not as good as what you're gonna get at a house. Oh, I'm flying in. Okay. All right. This is where I'm gonna get destroyed. So I'm gonna pick up the camera. Thank you very much.
You're so welcome.
I just saw the Epic.
Wow, I'm impressed with that because streaming technology is getting good, and as long as the edge servers are close enough to where you are and your internet connection is good enough, that's going to replace a lot of people's gaming PCs. Now, I mean, I'll admit that it wasn't like perfect 120 hertz, FPS Pro ready. Pros are still going to play on PCs that they have to have the best competitive advantage, but I think like 90% of people are going to play that and be like, yeah, that's fine. And then over here, you've probably seen some of this, but this is RTX Quake 2. I was playing this a little bit earlier, but they actually have this little controller hooked up here where you can control the lights inside of a level and see what that looks like.
We are very careful about putting our
I don't know how streaming on NVIDIA is going to work. I think they're just showing off their technology right now. But take a look at this. I'm gonna play with controls, and it's gonna move the lighting in real time, which is like really impressive here, like rotating and moving the sun, and changing the brightness levels and everything. So I can, oh wow, I can even adjust how bright those reflections are too. But yeah, it's all happening in real time, and the lighting happens and updates the scene, and it's impressive. It runs at 60 frames per second. I mean, it is Quake 2, but yeah, that's a really cool demo that they've got going on here, plugged up to this controller. And just so you can see, it's just like a little music controller, but it controls the sun inside of what is an old game with new wings. All right, so NVIDIA always bringing really impressive technology to GDC every year. I gotta get myself a 2080. Oh man, but there's like, you have to realize this is a $20,000 card. Hey Ivy, how you doing? We are at GDC in front of the Epic booth. Oh, Epic's got a pretty cool demo over here too. It's got a line if it tells you how cool it is. They're using 2 Vive controllers, and can I just walk in just to get video? Yeah, they're using 2 Vive controllers. They're using Robo Recall's assets, and it's got like a destruction system, moving around, shooting things. It's pretty cool. So here's a little cutscene. There's a building falling apart. Uh-oh. And the cool thing is there's just a guy sitting in front of it with 2 Vive controllers using it to shoot. This would make a killer arcade game. And this is just like, oh, here's our demo. We'll walk around when another demo starts, but we will have to wrap this up here pretty soon. Intel getting big into esports here. They've got a whole esports pavilion here. Oh, there's people playing Overwatch here. Oh, I'll have to get closer so you can see that, but believe it or not, I do like me some Overwatch. Overwatch is a pretty cool game. And obviously, because Game Developers Conference is like, here's how you speed up your game, here's how you optimize performance. So that people go like, why does this not run good on my medium or low-end hardware? But streaming's going to change a lot of that. So yeah, they're getting ready to play some Overwatch here. 3v3.
But this time around, let's take a look at our fearless Joes, and for anyone who is an Overwatch fan, you're gonna be
I do like some Overwatch. Let's see if this demo over here for Epic Games is rotating back up here. So I believe they have one on the other side of the booth too. I do want to show this. It's really cool looking. All right. Food. Oh my goodness. Somebody's getting fed up at Epic. Let's go ahead and we'll walk to Sony really quickly because we are running out of time. Is there Paradox Interactive? I don't know if they've got a booth here, but they definitely, I have seen some shirts around with that. So let's see where we can go next. And if you got anything that you want to see, if you're like, oh my God, can I really see this? I heard it was really cool. Just shout it out in the chat and I'll jump over there and take a look at it while we walk over to Sony's booth because they've got some cool stuff there. Don't want to leave anybody out. Microsoft, I don't believe has shown any streaming stuff yet. They're going to get there, but the rumor is that it's going to be on Switch. EA is not here. It's mostly first party, very unlikely that publishers here, and if they are, it's for recruiting. They're not showing anything really cool. So let's go ahead and flip this around. Looking at the gigantic PlayStation booth. And they're showing off a couple games here. Days Gone. And they've also got Falcon Age, Heaven's Vault. Let's see, Move or Die. That sounds like could be kind of interesting. 4-player couch multiplayer. They're showing off Unreal Engine here for PlayStation 4. It is what you expect. It's PlayStation, Unreal Engine. So, oh, look at this. Realistic looking faces in your games. It's not the future, it's now. And let's see what we got over here. Jupiter and Mars, Indivisible. I haven't even heard of these games. It must be either PlayStation exclusive or timed exclusive. Sony knows how to pick them. Another fun, interesting thing. It's not going to come across the monitor really well, but high dynamic range monitors. When you see it in person, you're like, oh my god, what have I been looking at the whole time? Even if it's not photorealistic, it looks really awesome. And here's some dev tools that you might see if you're on a PlayStation 4 development kit for seeing levels and where values fall in the high dynamic range. I looked at this and I was like, oh, I wish we had this like 5 years ago when we were working on getting our getting our colors looking right in Saints Row. There's the Amazon booth right there, just showing off all the stuff you can do on cloud and edge. That's been kind of a common trend this year, though, is lots of cloud, edge computing, just pushing that computing off to the distance so that your users can just game on whatever that they have, whether it's a mobile phone, a tablet. You know, people are expecting that these $100 devices that they buy can do everything. Hey, what's up?
Are you streaming right now?
Yeah, I'm streaming right now. We're just talking about it. Hey, what's up, Sean?
Hey, Alex, how you doing?
Yeah, so Sean and I worked on marketing for Saints Row back in the day.
Back in the day, Champaign, Illinois. Baby.
Yeah. So go ahead, say hi. Some of these people are Saints Row
everybody.
fans.
I'm Sean Kittleson. I was the creative director on the Saints Row 4 campaign. We had a lot of good times working on that one.
Yeah, I remember
the best
like
key art ever.
Yeah, I know, and it was just like, hey, can we like it? Remember that first trailer was like, hey, can you like do 400 shots in a weekend?
Yeah, our demands were a little crazy. We're a little crazy, but times have changed.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like we're just talking how everything's moving to cloud, as edge computing's big this year, and like consumers kind of pushing against it. But I mean, when you play it here, it was like, all right, this could work.
I'm on the skeptical side.
Go to NVIDIA's booth. Go play PUBG over streaming.
At the NVIDIA booth?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try, because the Stadia
is 30 hertz, and you're like, okay,
and
this is all right.
Demoing a game I know well for my own PC.
Okay, go play PUBG at the NVIDIA booth.
Okay, that's the one.
It's an even better demo, and I'm like,
really? Now, how will it work if it's not on a T3? With
well, I think everybody's going to have that here in a year or two. It feels like, because like 5G, they're saying 10 milliseconds latency. You're going to get broadband-like speeds. It's pretty impressive, like what I've seen so far. The demos.
I remain skeptical, only because of bandwidth loads and telecom infrastructure in the United States.
Certainly, and in other places too.
Yeah.
Because we have
it's not the tech. I bet all of you out there are working on it and solving these problems. It's the people that need to build the infrastructure.
I know.
Doing it.
I know.
So.
The other thing too is keep in mind that there's a client out there called Parsec Gaming.
Mm-hmm.
You can download this now and demo what NVIDIA streaming is like, because they use NVIDIA's graphics cards to encode, and then just have a friend from a couple states over connect and see, and they'll be like, yeah, I can play this all day.
Be interested.
And then do the same thing, connect to their computer and see what it's like.
Well, I bet Mortal Kombat 11, which I got coming out in April.
Are you working on MK11?
I wrote MK11. I co-wrote it with Dominic Cianciolo.
Hell yeah!
So hey, if you haven't pre-ordered MK11, pre-order it right now.
By the way, I'll admit that 21 Savage track on the reveal trailer got me really hyped.
Oh good, oh good, dude. There's the hype tomorrow at C2E2 in Chicago. If you're there at the convention, go check out the Mortal Kombat 11 panel. Some of my friends are on. That's good. Tomorrow's a massive day for Mortal Kombat.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
I ran into you.
I know. It's just like there, you got to do a quick little plug right there.
Well, let's catch up when I'm back in LA. And we're not on the stream.
All right, cool.
I'll give you a shout, man.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
Good talking to
See
you,
ya.
man. Be well.
There you go. The people you run into here at GDC, they're like, hey, what's up, Alex? Co-writer on MK11. Man, he's gone far. It's been a while since I've talked to Scott. Crazy. So, real quickly, here's OptiTrack. This is, you can see, this is kind of like the traditional way that they use mocap, where there's all these cameras around these trusses. And they can track all kinds of objects. You can see there's like a whole Zynga thing going on there. There's a gun. So here, maybe we can get both in there. And it's tracking all these objects like perfectly in 3D space. And you can see over here in the virtual space, it's tracking the weapon and everything. And when you're in VR, when you have a low latency display, it's perfect. Like it's awesome. You don't feel any floatiness. Jenga Extreme. Don't make me take bets to walk over there and kick it and run. They'll throw me out of GDC and we'll never have another GD stream ever again. OptiTrack and a waifu pillow. Oh my God, you guys are dirty. So as we go on over here, it's gets more into mobile and gets more into infrastructure type stuff that is probably less interesting if you're playing games. There's a Twitch booth up here, but it's mostly like how to build Twitch games and things that interact with your Twitch audience. Again, they're really leaning heavy on the chat. Google's making a play for just having people coming in and play with you. I don't know if you're you, but I would rather play a game with somebody than type in the chat and be part of thousands doing it. But there's room for both. There's room for both. So really quickly, let's see if we can get that demo. Oh, here's High Res Studios here. And there's just a meeting booth right here. So if it's a wall up there, that means come in here and see our secret stuff if you're on the list. And there's a lot of country-specific ones too. It's like, look at all these games in the UK. Look at all these games from Sweden. Look at all these games from other countries. It's always cool to have a community of people that understand your culture and create games. 4A Games is a perfect example. They come in, they play, they show off this Eastern European style game for everything that they do, and it's so different than anything Western made, and it's awesome, and I love it. Here's Indie Games at Xbox here, showing the love for people, everybody, which is funny because they're right across from PlayStation. You'd think that they'd be like West Side Story starting a fight here, but no, people are happy. I mean, look, you buy a piece of hardware, you play the games on it. There's always awesome games on these systems. So what do we see here? Mowing and Throwing, Beholder 2, Action Squad. So these are all indie games that they're bringing to their system, which is really awesome. And inside here, we can take a deep dive and get really game devy, where they're saying, here's Microsoft's tools and what they can do to help you make your game. So it's kind of crazy. On the outside, they got consumer-facing stuff, but on the inside, it's like Amazon, where it's like straight up like, here's our tools, here's how you can use them to make games. Tools, at the end of the day, make games. And people have to use those tools, and tools accelerate and make people that much more effective. So it's day and night when you're working on a game with great tools and then you don't have them. And it's good when first party, but Microsoft provides them to you. That's why there's so many awesome games on the Unreal Engine. It's not because the Unreal Engine is necessarily technically superior to everything else that's out there. You can do a lot of the same stuff in Unity. But what makes the Unreal Engine so awesome is that the tools are easy for you to achieve great results. And like I said, tools at the end of the day are what make a great game or an awesome game. So let's see if we can catch that demo really quickly from Epic Games before I sign off here, because I am needing to run to my next meeting. I just wanted to say a quick hi and let everybody know what's going on out here. Oh, they're not running the demo. Okay. So I'll just say this. Let's get away from some of that noise, and we'll just do a quick sign off. So everybody, how you doing out there? I know that there's been news about GDC, but it's different when you see it firsthand versus when you go home and read it, because I mean, just experiencing these things yourself, it makes a big difference. But yeah. Well, thank you, Gabber, for showing up and telling us what's going on here. So, I'm Alexander Mejia. I am creative director and CEO at Human Interact. We were just at the GDC 2019 showroom floor, showing off old games, where we came from, and the new technology where we are. Don't be afraid, guys. I don't think there's anything to be afraid of because we're still going to have high-end consoles. They're still going to exist. Pros are going to want them. But the streaming stuff, it's legit. I would play on the streaming stuff, especially if I were outside my house and traveling, which I do more and more often. And if I could do that through my Nintendo Switch, that's going to be awesome. It means I'll actually be able to play games more often instead of having to wait. It's like, oh no, I've got like a week off. Let's just, crush through this game and go through my backlog. That also means good for developers because more game time means more people buying games. So with that, I will bid you all adieu. Thank you very much for showing up. And I don't know if we'll have a stream on Friday because I'll be in the air traveling, but stay tuned to our social channels. I'll probably end up throwing up another quick live stream on YouTube